Well, good morning everybody on a very frosty and very cold morning. Well, it may be really cold, it may be really frosty, but the sun is trying to come through and the chores never end on the small farm. So let's get on with it. And the week started off with us having to make some adjustments to the external chimney stack that we put out. Whilst we didn't capture that on video because we'd already shown you actually putting the chimney stack up, we had to then put these ladders away. That is a chore into itself. But the main task of the day was actually starting to clear out the garage ready for the heating install. We are now less than a week away from the heating install, and we're both tired, we're both getting quite testy, but nevertheless it needs to get done. Okay. Be careful with the So with Mariusz working some mixed shifts this week, that meant some early starts for us and some late nights. And this week was certainly going to be a test. A test of our patience, a test of each other, and a test of the work that we got ahead. And our first test was to surely start very shortly.
No, it's just we need to fold it fully.
Yeah, and then just carry it like that.
Yes.
And not collapse it down.
And it's never been to collapsed. Well, oh, it's cold.
Yes, it is cold.
It's much colder than the steel one, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If the floor was good enough, we could put even the heater in a somewhat right place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, if we can.
If it's good enough, because if it's not level, it's supposed to be level.
Well, it's got legs on it, so it can be adjusted slightly, can't it?
Slightly.
Yeah. Well, a bit
Can
more
it
than.
build?
Yeah, because look, it's up at the back there, and down at the front. See it?
And this was the first of our big tests of the day. This is the garage, something that we've not really used other than a bit of a dumping ground and what the previous owners had used as a bit of a dumping ground. We cut a bit out of this. Mariusz was getting very aggravated. We couldn't open the second door. I managed to get it done though, and we moved on to the second part. This was a tip area. There's no other way of calling it. That's exactly what it was. You can even see an old cooker that had been dumped by the previous owners there. And this sort of thing we pushed back because it wasn't that important to us at the time. But we do find two hidden little gems.
Hope this guy's got somebody with it.
I don't know.
Huh.
This.
I'll pop it on the pallet.
You want to see inside?
Well,
Need some cleaning inside.
It's almost like the job that you think to yourself, where do we start? Because it was that bad. At this point we're getting more and more tired, more and more aggravated. We were losing the light, and we were thinking to ourselves, really, sometimes things just start to get a bit on top of you both. But we push on and we persevere, and this is where we found those two little gems.
Pop it on the right hand side now so people can see it. I don't know if I've got paint there, but you can clean them out. There.
Mm-hmm.
So this cheered us up no end. I always like a little bit of upcycling, as they call it. So I had Mariusz to pop them to the side and think to myself, that's a nice little project for me in the week. We then sped this up. We didn't want to have to put you through the 35 minutes of hell that we went through as well. But we got it done. And we got it done pretty well until the light started to go.
I'll stand by you and we drop the shit and we put it straight in.
These are parts of the heater.
Okay.
And it was at this point then we decided to call it for the night. There wasn't a lot more we could do, and it was just getting darker. And we were finding things like old Stanley knives. So that was it for this part of the project.
Okay.
Like the whole thing. Okay. That's what it is.
It is what it is, yeah. I'll pop those in.
It was
maybe
time
your garage
to
or-
call her a
Oh,
night.
do we pop those in? Yes.
Oh, we can, yeah.
In my garage.
You went in.
Well, it's time now to feed the chickens and let them out this morning. So come another day, come another set of chores. But it was a nice day. It was cold, it was freezing, but still, sometimes it does put a smile on your face, just letting the chickens out. You also have to break the ice, so to speak, on all their watering systems. They do freeze over at night. But they are nice and toasty and warm in there. Come on then. I don't know, maybe it's just me that gets overly excited to see the chickens first thing in the morning, but they do make me laugh. Oh, time for the young chicks. Hey, play fair.
Let everybody get some. Let me move the water thing back there. Oh! Really wouldn't go out there, go on back in there, they'll pick on you. Come on. There we go. Oh, come on then, ducks. Come on.
And it was at this point I realised that one of the young chicks, well, not so
Leave them
young
alone.
chicks, had actually got out and I hadn't
Leave
noticed.
them alone. Leave them alone. Come here. Come on. Back in there. Come on. Sort the water out now. Everybody. Let's have a look. No, that's frozen. That's frozen. That's okay. Right, don't worry, I filled up this pot yesterday just in case. Look. There you are, there's water there for you to drink. There we go, look. Wouldn't think I changed this last thing yesterday, would you?
And that was the chores done with the chickens and the chicks and the ducks for the morning. With a final word from Big Boy the Cockerel. So as the week progressed, the weather was getting worse, so there wasn't a great deal we could do around the outside of the small farm. So we switched, as we always do, to the inside projects. And one project that we've never really got to grips with and we'd sort of put off was the green beams, as we call them, in mine and Mariusz's bedroom. Many of you will remember that we had to treat these beams because they were quite bad with woodworm, so we had to shave them down and then we treated them and that turned them a green colour. So we've been pondering about, well, how are we going to sort this out for a while, and we decided we would basically box them in, and it was just waiting for the time and the resources to get that done.
Your left. Your left, love. No, I'm in the home.
Oh, you mean
Yeah, okay. I was, yeah, I was
the grass thing?
have that issue fitting in Magpie.
I would. I would. Keep it straight, please.
And then we decided we weren't happy with the result. So we had to go back to the drawing board and actually take them off and start again.
Maybe don't go to the very end. Just hold it a little bit closer. Yeah.
And the issue was that putting them next to each other was simply creating too many gaps, and it wasn't giving us the effect that we needed, really. So we went back to the drawing board, and Mariusz decided that he would cut them in sections and slot them in. So whilst that made it a heck of a lot more difficult, actually holding the boards up and actually screwing them in, because there was a problem with them actually coming apart and falling if we couldn't screw them in quick enough, the effect was much, much better, as you will see.
Okay. Wait.
Yeah. Not bad.
Towards yourself. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Just upright this time.
So then we actually put some braces around the side of the beam to be able to put the side element on. Now, we didn't know how quite difficult this was going to actually be until we tried it. The first time we tried it, the sections were apart, so then we had the idea, if we simply put one section up at a time, then we can slot in the tops as we go along. And that seemed to work pretty well.
Slot the one in on top.
We can try.
I don't see why not.
But if I remember right.
And then we did the same on the reverse of the beam. So at this point we pretty much got it licked in the process that we were going to be following, and then we could move on and get some of the other beams done. And we were then happy with the process that we had figured out on how to do this, and we actually got the beam boxed in, and that then led us to the next step, which was actually putting the finishing strips alongside of the beams. And just to give you an example, on this second beam, we've sped this video up, but the process probably took a quarter of the time that it actually did to do the first beam. He totally figured it out, and Mariusz was able to do it without basically any major assistance from myself. And it literally took him then around 20 minutes to do per beam. Is the finished product on this one. So we've put the, what do you call it, flashing? Masking plate, flashing, edging plate, edging wood against that one, as you can see, and it makes a heck of a difference. If you compare that with that one there, it does make a heck of a difference. And of course, compare all of those with one of the ones that haven't been done yet and still got the door on there. So here we go. This is now the guest bedroom. What do you think? And what do you think of the beams that we have finished lacking? It's been a bit of a busy week, considering we haven't had a great deal of time to do much, because Mariusz has been working afternoons. So that doesn't leave a great deal of time to do as much as we would like, with me doing the farm chores. But what do you think of those beams in comparison to what they were before? So this, I think, is a lovely little guest room. Well, it isn't even little, you could say. And yes, we are using it still a little bit for storage and for Mariusz's piano. And that's a computer area down there, as you can see at the moment. But it will all get finished and sorted, that bit. But all the beams have now been done. And we've got the lighting in here. And we've got the flooring done in here as well. And all the painting. So tell us what you think. We are super happy with it. And you may remember that when we were cleaning out the garage, ready for the heating system to be installed, we found these two little gems, one here and one here. They were in a little bit of a state, but I've upcycled them, I believe is the right word, and I think you'll agree they look pretty good. They're like 1920s, 1930s old type bedside cabinets. Waste not, want not.